Alright, I get to open this video off with, I told you so. Look at the Trump, Xi Jinping stuff. Now, I don't know if I could even say I told you so. I think I don't know what's gonna happen. I wanna talk about kind of what the agreement was made. That's definitely gonna be the main thing for Monday on the market. I might stream today. We're gonna see what work I could get done. I still am gonna have a bunch of other videos for you guys today too, so I'm excited. It's a good day. A lot of work already got done. I'm excited for the markets tomorrow. I think it's gonna have an interesting week. Sad too, George Bush died. Rest in peace. But that is gonna have an effect on our stock market. So let's get into that. You guys hear this husky in the background? He just wants me to let him outside so he can play with the cats. But if you guys are new, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Turn on the post notifications. Every single day we drop in these videos. So yeah, let's get into it though. I kind of want to walk around. I might just walk around, go outside. I don't know. I might just sit in my desk and move around like this. But what happened? The deal, and let's start first with what we expected. I was saying I don't really expect much to happen. Again, G20 isn't an event where agreements are made. Dude, hold on. This dog is crazy. I just yelled at him. We'll see if that works. But like I was saying, G20 isn't a time where agreements are made between countries. That's what we've talked about. And I was saying with how big the hype was around something getting solved and something progressing from this deal, I didn't necessarily think anything could have been accomplished big enough to meet the expectation. And I think that's what happened. And it brings up so many parts too. Lets me even look at Trump in a whole different way now, because he's very specific on what he tells us what he's going to do. He was just he's saying, well, I don't plan on making a deal. And I think he was, you just have to interpret his crypticness, but he did exactly what he said. They didn't make a new deal. They held off on implementing more tariffs. Pretty much it gave them a 90-day pass on China. And even Chinese media and Chinese reporters have said the same exact thing, where Xi Jinping now has another 90 days. The US pretty much agreed that they're gonna keep it at 10% tariffs. They're not gonna raise it for 90 more days. US or China is gonna buy more agriculture goods for them from, China's gonna buy more agriculture goods from the US and some other stuff. But the big problem, and this is where, there's two things. It's one, where this agreement could lead to in the future and making a future play off this. And that's one of the important things I don't want you guys to miss out on, is understanding how news just dropped today, yesterday. It's easy to say, okay, this news meets up with this deadline on the market, but this news will come back around 3 months from now. Guaranteed, because that is the deadline, and what happens from there and how the market reacts or what changes come from there. So this is still ongoing, but the big issue that didn't get resolved was that and this is why I brought up what I just said, because they didn't talk about the big reforms that the US really wants and is being a dickhead about. And that is the forced technology transfers, enforcing your IP, your intellectual property rights, and then having China end these state subsidies for these big, strategic brands. It's pretty much, you have companies in the world going against Chinese government, which is unlimitedly funding. So they wanted to change that, and none of that had any progress. So again, what happens 3 months from now will be interesting. Till then, it was kind of, just exactly what we need. But now this is where it comes back to, what do we expect the reaction to be in the stock market? I think it's going to be interesting. I think tomorrow, the next days have a very good chance of running up and ripping. But again, considering how neutral this news was, where it wasn't a deal, but it wasn't something bad. It's literally right in the middle. And I think that's exactly what I was expecting. That's where I'm saying I told you guys so. I was like, I don't think the market's going to move, but there's still a good chance that the markets could digest this very positively. I'm actually weighing more towards that than nothing happening, just because, again, this is jawboning. That's what they call, you guys see my jawbone a little bit. That's what they call it in the stock market, when big figures, central bankers, presidents, when they just start talking, every time Trump says something about oil, the stock market, he's using his jawbone to bring up the price or bring it down. So this dog is annoying. All right, well, I'm gonna let Jax out. But no, man, stop being annoying. I know you see the cats, please. But what was I saying? See, he just threw me off. Man, oh man. Oh, jawboning. and talking to bring it up. So that is, I think that I'll, you know, this is a good enough news to bring the market up. People could talk about it, but it's going to be interesting. And then also coming into next week, Wednesday's closed because of George Bush, his death, which is interesting, you know, to see someone pass in the market close like that. What's up, Jackie? But, yeah, you guys could look at Jax. He's being weird. But the market closed, and that's interesting too because Fed Chair Powell is going to be speaking on Wednesday with the market closed. So I think that's going to be interesting because usually there's a reaction when he speaks. So whatever happens on Wednesday is going to be reflected Thursday. So understand Thursday you're going to have a big event for options and some of these premiums with 1 day less on the weekly contracts, and in general Powell has that potential to, you know, he says one thing unexpected, markets are going 300 points the other way. He says something unexpected, it could go 400 points up. So that's the great part. But again, more in dine though, like why I'm expecting more or less nothing to happen. Simply because so far, after the meeting, the dollar went up, the pound is still at the lows, the Chinese yuan, I believe it did weakened a little bit too. So it's not as if, you know, anything has changed too crazy with it, and we didn't see a big buying spree of any sort. But again, we are going to see tomorrow and coming into the more, you know, tonight, the futures coming in the morning, see what happens with Chinese markets. But so far, it's still on the table, nothing happens. And now the next thing we're looking for is Brexit, the pound, euro. What is that? Hold on. All right, I'm just getting paranoid, but like I say, we're gonna watch what happens here with all this stuff coming into tonight. I'll hopefully be able to give you guys an update, or if we stream, but that's to watch, and then seeing how all the other factors we were just discussing with this week play out, see where the markets come out, what new info comes out, and yeah, but again, still very confusing. This last couple months, this type of, you know, usually this information is a lot easier to interpret, but again, the more confusing, the worse the markets are, so on and so forth. You know, it makes these decisions harder to make and harder to clearly get a clear-cut answer. That's why it's called volatility. So, love you guys. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe. Give me another question. Anything. Yeah, hope you have a good Sunday. Get ready. I'm excited, man. It's game time. We're ready for Monday. Peace.